Forget everything you think you know about ancient warfare. The Roman Empire didn't conquer half the known world because their swords were sharper. They conquered it because their soldiers simply could not be broken. Today, we're going inside the most brutal human performance system ever devised, one that modern sports science is still trying to fully explain. Rome had a numbers problem. Its enemies, the Celtic tribes, the Germanic forest warriors, could summon hundreds of thousands of fighters at will. Massive, terrifying, unstoppable waves of humanity. Rome could never match that headcount. So Roman commanders made a cold calculation. If we can't have more soldiers, each one of ours needs to be worth 5 of theirs. That decision changed everything. While other armies handed a peasant a spear and pointed him toward the enemy, Rome did something radical. They sent every recruit into a closed training camp. 4 months of what we'd probably classify today as organized torture. Before dawn, the running began. Not a jog, a full run, in heavy gear, across broken terrain until lungs burned. Any man who fell behind met the camp instructors, officially titled camp doctors, who carried wooden sticks and used them without hesitation. There was no HR department. There were no rest days. You adapted, or you were reassigned to the labor battalions in disgrace. Then came the weapons. And here's where it gets genuinely fascinating. The training swords weren't real. They were wooden, and they weighed twice as much as actual combat steel. The shields were the same. Woven, heavy, exhausting to hold. Recruits spent their days driving a thick wooden post into the ground and striking it, 1,000 times, every single day. If you've ever hit a punching bag 100 times in a row, you know what your shoulders feel like the next morning. These men did 10 times that, with double the weight, daily, for months. Modern sports science has a name for this: progressive overload. Rome invented it 2,000 years before the first gym opened. The result? By the time a legionnaire held a real steel gladius in battle, it felt weightless. His muscles had been rebuilt from the inside out. Before we go further, if you're finding this as fascinating as I am, hit subscribe. We go deep on human history, forgotten knowledge, and the systems that built civilizations. You don't want to miss what's coming. Ancient cardiologists, studying Roman texts, discovered something remarkable. After completing training, a legionnaire's resting heart rate dropped by roughly 20%. Their cardiovascular system had been fundamentally rewired. Blood delivered oxygen more efficiently. Muscles recovered faster under strain. These weren't superhuman men. They were ordinary farmers whose bodies had been systematically transformed through months of structured suffering. The legions covered ground in a way that terrified their enemies, not with cavalry or chariots, but with their feet. 3 times per week during training, a 30-kilometer march carrying 40 kilograms of gear. Armor, weapons, leather tents, cooking equipment. All of it on open leather sandals, across stone roads and autumn mud. Enemies calculated they had weeks to prepare their defenses. Roman columns appeared in 3 days. Julius Caesar's troops once covered 160 kilometers in under 72 hours, then immediately fought a battle. No rest. No recovery period. They arrived and they attacked, and they won. That speed wasn't supernatural. It was capillary density. The constant marching had literally grown new blood vessel networks inside their leg muscles. More vessels meant more oxygen. More oxygen meant legs that refused to quit. Here's where modern assumptions completely fall apart. The fearsome Roman war machine ran almost entirely on grain, about 1.5 kilograms of wheat per day per soldier, roughly 3,000 calories of slow-releasing complex carbohydrates, no protein shakes, no meat on the march. Commanders noticed that soldiers who ate heavy meat before a long march fell behind. The body diverts blood to digest protein, blood that should be powering the legs. So by necessity, these brutal warriors became functional vegetarians on campaign. Modern marathon runners do exactly this before races. They call it carb loading. Rome figured it out through trial and error 2 millennia ago. There's one more detail. Soldiers ground their own grain by hand after every march using stone millstones. Congratulations. That's another arm workout after a 30-kilometer haul. Here's what separates Roman soldiers from every other army in history. After a full day of marching, exhausted, feet raw, carrying 40 kilograms, they didn't sleep. They picked up iron shovels and built a fully fortified camp. Earth ramparts, a deep moat, sharpened wooden stakes along the top, straight streets, marked tent positions. Every single night, even if they were leaving the next morning. This burned another 800 calories, took up to 3 hours. Seemed insane. It wasn't. The camp guaranteed safe sleep, while barbarian armies sat awake in the dark forest, terrified to attack. Romans slept peacefully behind their walls. A well-rested fighter the next morning is a deadlier fighter. The shovel was as much a weapon as the sword. In battle, Rome pulled off something enemies genuinely could not comprehend. Every 15 minutes, fresh soldiers rotated to the front line. Exhausted fighters stepped back, drank water, recovered, like hockey substitutions. But in the middle of a sword fight, you'd spend half an hour hacking through Roman lines, arms burning with lactic acid, certain you were breaking them. And suddenly a completely fresh soldier was standing in front of you, shield raised, not even breathing hard. A Germanic chieftain described it as trying to cut through an ocean with a sword. Every wave you defeated was immediately replaced by another. And the weapon itself was the opposite of what most people imagine. The gladius, short, double-edged, was never swung overhead for dramatic effect. Romans thrust from behind their shields with small, economical movements. A thrust uses a fraction of the energy of a chopping blow. 5 centimeters into the abdomen ended the fight, while a barbarian warrior leaped, screamed, and burned through his reserves on intimidation. The Roman stood still behind his shield and waited. One precise thrust. Next opponent. It wasn't heroic. It was industrial. And it worked every time. The Romans weren't aliens. They weren't born stronger than their enemies. They were farmers, the same as the people they defeated. What made them different was a system. A system that understood the human body, its limits, and exactly how to push past them. A system built on grain and wooden swords and iron shovels and the quiet brotherhood of 8 men sharing a campfire. Their roads still exist. Their laws still shape ours. And their soldiers, ordinary men transformed by extraordinary discipline, remain the gold standard of human physical and mental endurance. The lesson isn't that we should all start marching 50 kilometers a day. The lesson is simpler. The human body is capable of far more than comfort allows it to discover.